He built a world where everyone was watched until the cameras turned toward him. Now the hunter becomes the hunted, and the only thing more dangerous than his secrets is his revenge. They say revenge has a beginning but never an end. It just changes faces, and every time it leaves you a little hungrier. My name is Adrian Volkov, and I built Sentinel Systems on that belief, the most powerful private intelligence firm in Europe. We didn't sell security, we sold people's sleep. Clients came for protection, but ended up buying obedience. For 15 years, I was the man behind the curtain. I heard what was said behind closed doors. I was an electronic shadow. Then one morning, my analyst, Mia Petrova, walked into my office pale as a sheet and set a small silver pen on my desk. It wasn't a pen, a micro camera hidden in the vent above my chair, military grade. It could have been running for 6 months, she said. I didn't want to count the private meetings and secret deals it had recorded, so I ordered a full sweep. By sunset, we found 9 more devices in the office. In my car, even in my penthouse, someone had turned my life into live television. That night, I stared at my reflection in the glass and realized what it feels like to be the prey. The next morning, I called Alex Romanov, an old intelligence buddy who now sells solutions for problems men like me create. There's someone inside my system, I said. We traced the signals. They bounced through ghost servers, complex routes meant to hide the origin, but a pattern emerged. An internal encryption key tied to Natalia, my CFO, once the only person I trusted. I froze. I wanted to deny it, but deep inside I already knew. I confronted her that night. She didn't deny it. She looked at me with that cold, precise calm and said, "You taught me trust is a luxury. I stopped buying it." "Why?" I demanded. "Because you built an empire on lies," she replied. "You sold people's lives to the highest bidder and called it security. I won't live with that." She slid a folder across my desk. Project Lazarus photos, recordings, bank transfers, proof of every dirty operation I'd greenlit. "The world needs to see who you are," she said, then left. 2 days later, the first leak hit. A minister caught taking bribes, Sentinel's watermark in the corner of the footage. The news spread like a virus. Clients panicked. Investors fled. Stakeholders called in protests. I watched my empire rot. Alex called, "You're compromised." The Mirror got inside. The Mirror? A group that hunts people like you, hacktivists, whistleblowers, angry ghosts. "Then I'll kill them first," I said. "You can't kill a reflection," he answered. "But you can burn the mirror." I set bait. A fake €1 billion project. All the signs of a juicy, corrupt contract, and I let it leak into my own honey trap. They took the bait, and the trace led to an abandoned communications facility out of town. Metal skeletons, dead consoles, and the smell of rust. I went in alone. It was too quiet. Then footsteps. Alex stepped out of the shadows. "You're late," he said. "You should have been dead." Before I could respond, he swung. His fist hit my jaw so hard my vision blurred, and the world spun. Blood in my mouth. I came back swinging. I cracked his nose and felt the crunch. He lunged, grabbed a gun off the floor, and fired the bullet. Grazed my shoulder, fire racing down my arm. Adrenaline stripped the pain raw. I grabbed a steel pipe, swung, and his head took the blow with a sound that still rings in my ears. He hit the deck, gasping. "You fed the monster you made," he spat. When I pressed my heel into his chest, his breaths came shallow and ragged. Monitors flickered on, and Natalia's face filled them all. "The world will see you," she said through the speakers, calm as ever. Then the facility shook an explosion, shoving flames through the wiring. Everyone thought I'd burn there. The headlines declared my death. The public watched the ashes of Sentinel, but I didn't die. I crawled out, burned and scarred and angrier. For months, I became a ghost. New names, sleeping in different cities, burning through accounts and IDs. Then a package arrived at my safe house. A tablet and Natalia's face, alive, ragged around the edges and steady. "You thought you could end us by breaking the mirror," she said. "Lazarus wasn't a program. It was a backup. We kept evidence of everything you destroyed. You can't erase the past. You only become its prisoner." On the screen, a single sentence remained. "We're still watching." The little red LED in the corner of my room blinked twice. This time I didn't smash it. I smiled and said, "Watch." Then I'm not finished. I rebuilt differently, not as a CEO, but as a weapon. I used leftover fragments of the network to turn Mirror's own systems back on them. I leaked locations, nudged law enforcement, and watched cells collapse. One by one, their safe houses were raided and members taken. Each victory left a new message on my screens. You killed yourself, Adrian. The more I hunted them, the more I felt Natalia's presence in every mirror, in every camera eye. Then a message, meet me where it started. I returned to the old headquarters. The place was hollow but still humming. The desk was where I'd left it. The phone rang. I picked up. "Hello, Adrian," she said. "You really can't live without me, can you?" "You're dead," I said. "You're a dead Bakken." "Not yet," she answered. "Then finish it." "I already did," she said, and the lights came alive. Every monitor burst into motion. The faces of people I'd broken, families I'd damaged, the evidence of lives ruined by my hands. The screens closed in like a cage. "You were never the hunter," Natalia's voice whispered. "You were the camera." In the glow of those monitors, I finally saw myself clearly. Not a genius, not a villain, but a ghost hollowed out by his own obsession. Outside, the city glowed with 1,000 lenses. I had built the cage I lived in. I poured a drink and lifted it to the blinking red light. "You win, Natalia," I said. A smirk followed. "But remember, I taught you how to play." The light blinked twice and went out. Silence settled. But it wasn't peace, it was the hush before another storm. The silence didn't last. My phone buzzed with a new message. Meeting canceled. Next round starting. I read it and smiled. I was not stepping away. Revenge, I learned, is a snake that coils tighter each time you strike. It's not a destination, but a loop. One night on a narrow Paris backstreet, I found Natalia again, black hood, thin smile, hands trembling. "You never changed," she said. Her eyes were bright but tired. We didn't talk long. The fight erupted like a throwback to all the years of trained reflexes and suppressed fury. Fists, elbows, the metallic bite of a thrown pipe, a scuffle that echoed off brick. I counted the kicks and blocks, felt the old military rhythm in my bones, and at one point she pulled a small, quick blade. Instinct took over. I trapped her wrist, redirected the blade into the alley wall, and the metal pinged off the stone. She staggered, blood at her lip. "You can't stop me," she hissed. "Maybe not," I said, "but I can end you." I used what I'd built into a weapon, patience, timing, a calculated strike, and she hit the ground, gasping, the fight finally tipping. But it wasn't final. It never is. Another package arrived later. A video of Natalia and Alex together. Bandages on Alex's arm, both grim. "You chose the mirror," Alex said to the camera. "We chose the mirror too." The last frame was a line that cut clean. Anyone who plays with mirrors eventually breaks. Then my phone lit up. Next target, your piece. I smiled outwardly. Inside, a strange calm settled. I'd learned that victory had a new definition. It wasn't smashing the other side into ruin. It was making the world watch what the world had enabled. So I kept watching back. Cities felt less safe and more honest now. Governments closed ranks. Enemies turned in one another. The mirror fractured under the pressure I unleashed. But every time one of them fell, another window opened showing my own face. Older, scarred, more hollow. The last message I received was a loop of faces. People I'd wronged, families I'd broken, friends I'd betrayed. And on top of that montage, Natalia's voice, softer than before. "You made this. You get to wear it." My reflection in the screen was mine and not mine. I raised my glass and whispered, "So be it." The camera's red light kept blinking, and I spoke to it as if to an old enemy and an intimate witness at once. "Watch, because I'm not done. This game doesn't end." Outside, the city's lights blinked like a field of eyes. I walked among them as one of the shadows, and somewhere in that darkness, the loop continued. The watchers watched. The watched watched back. And the mirror kept cracking a little more each time someone tried to smash it.